Okay guys, today we're going to talk about order of operations. Order of operations, that's how we solve equations or expressions. Okay, so our first example in our note says solve. Then circle the correct way to solve the problem. So if I look here, here's my two examples. We're going to do both ways and we're going to see which one is correct. This one here tells me to do 2 plus 6 first. Okay, and 2 plus 6 is 8. And then 8, remember this little dot means to multiply. So 8 times 3, that's 24. Okay, now let's look at the second one. It's telling me to do 6 times 3 first. And 6 times 3 is 18. And 2 plus 18 is 20. Well, if you notice, I have the same expression here, and we solved it two different ways. But if we're following our order of operations, or Pemdas, okay, the correct answer would be 20, because according to Pemdas, we multiply before we add. So you see how if you do your steps in the wrong order, you get two different answers. So it's very important that you follow your order of operations, or your Pemdas. So to go to the fill in the blank, we use the order of operations to help us solve expressions such as the ones above. Use the following acronym to help you remember the order. Okay, so our first letter is going to be P, okay, and then E comes next, then M and D, then A and S. So we've got Pemdas. Okay, that's what we wrote right here. Okay, Pemdas. Make sure that you're writing down everything on your notes that I am on mine. Pemdas, the way we can remember that, a lot of people will say please, excuse, excuse me, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I know you've probably heard that a million times, so hopefully you can remember Pemdas or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? Now let's come back down here and figure out what each of these stand for. So P stands for parentheses. And you might have also heard it called GEMDAS. G stands for grouping symbols, because when we say parentheses, we don't just mean this symbol right here. It could be any of the three. For our purposes in 6th grade math, we're just going to deal with parentheses, but we want you to remember going forward that these also fall under the P category. So after we do parentheses, the next thing we do is going to be E, which stands for exponents. Okay? E stands for exponents, and here's an example for you. If you remember when we did our prime factorization, I gave you some examples of exponents. Remember, the 2 is our base, and that's the number that we're multiplying repeatedly. Okay, and the exponent, or the 3, the small number, is how many times we multiply the base repeatedly. So this tells me multiply 2 by itself 3 times. So 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3. That's our exponent. And 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So that's why 2 cubed is 8. Just a little review of exponents. After we do any parentheses and then any exponents, the next thing we're going to do is multiply or divide. Okay, and if you notice, I said multiply or divide. Okay? It doesn't mean that we multiply first and then divide. It's multiply or divide. So we are going to do whatever comes first in our expression. So if we're following our expression from left to right, just like you read a sentence, if you come to a multiplication problem or part of your expression first, you're going to multiply. If you come to division first, you're going to divide first. So just because it says M and then D does not mean that you have to multiply first. Okay? This is any order, multiply or divide. And then after we multiply or divide, we are going to add or subtract, okay? Add or subtract. This follows the same rules as multiply and divide. Add or subtract. You don't have to add first and then subtract next. You're just going to do whatever comes first. Okay, so PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S. Parentheses, exponents, multiply or divide, then add or subtract. Okay, these are the steps or the order we're going to follow when we're solving the following examples below. So let's look at number 1. Okay, and here's our PEMDAS. I want you to always refer back to it. I'm even going to write it up here so we can see it. Okay, so number 1, we have 2 plus 5 times 3 minus 4. Well, let's go through our order. Are there any parentheses? Nope. Any exponents? Nope. Multiplication or division? Well, let's look here. Yes, I have multiplication. Okay, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to multiply first. So 5 times 3, that is 15. Okay, and I want you to watch what I do. I do my caret to say, hey, I'm combining these two things, and this is my new number. And then you're going to copy down everything else. Okay, exactly how it is. Guys, if you don't copy down your new expression, okay, after you combine something, I promise you 9 times out of 10, you're going to miss something and it'll mess your whole expression up. Okay, so now that I've rewritten 2 plus 15 minus 4, I'm going to look, do I have any more multiplication or division? Nope, so I can move on. Addition or subtraction? Okay, I have both, so I'm going to work left to right, just like you read a sentence or read a book, and I'm going to do whatever comes first. So when I start to the left, the first thing I come to is addition, so I'm going to do that first. 2 plus 15 is 17, and again, I'm copying down. Now I have 17 minus 4, and that is 13. So when I take this expression and I use our order of operations, our PEMDAS, I get all the way down to 13. So 13 would be your answer. If you look back up here, if you didn't add first and you went to subtraction first, 15 minus 4 would be 11. And 2 plus 11, okay, well, we got lucky there, 13. All right, that will not happen every time, so you must be careful. Let's look at number 2. 3 plus 2 cubed times 4 divided by 8. Well, let's follow PEMDAS, our order of operations. Do I have any parentheses, the P? Nope. Do I have any exponents? Ooh, yes, right here, 2 cubed. Now remember, 2 cubed is the same thing as saying 2 times 2 times 2. The exponent tells us how many times to multiply the base. Okay, it's not 2 times 3. Okay, that's not what it is. It's not 2 times 3. It's saying multiply 2 by itself 3 times. 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So here's my caret. Here's 8. I'm going to rewrite everything. 3 plus my new number 8 times 4 divided by 8. All right, do I have any more exponents? No, I do not, so I'm going to move on. Multiplication or division? Well, I do have both. I have multiplication and division, so I'm just going to do whatever comes first. So 3 plus 8 times 4, my multiplication comes first, so we're going to do that. 8 times 4 is 32. I'm going to copy everything back down. So here's my new expression. Now I'm going to do my division. Okay, 32 divided by 8 is 4. Copy down. And 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, 3 plus 4 is 7. So there's your final answer. All right, let's move to number 3. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to see our PEMDAS up here, so I'm going to write it down the side. Okay, PEMDAS. All right. So I've got 12 minus, and in parentheses, 16 divided by 2 plus 3. All right, well, let's follow our order of operations. P comes first, Parentheses, I do have parentheses, so I'm going to do whatever is inside the parentheses first. Well, if I look inside the parentheses, I've got 16 divided by 2 plus 3. Well, I've got division and addition in here. Well, let's look over at our order of operations. What comes first? Division or addition? Division, so I'm going to divide first. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now remember, we're going to rewrite. I have not finished everything inside my parentheses, so I'm going to copy it down. All right. Now before I do my subtraction, I need to finish the parentheses. So 8 plus 3 is 11, and 12 minus 11 is 1. Okay, last but not least, number 4. Still got our PEMDAS. All right, 12 minus 3 squared plus 8 minus 5 plus 2. Well, let's start. Do I have any P parentheses? Yes, I do. So inside my parentheses, I have subtraction and addition. But remember, when it comes to addition, subtraction, it does not matter what the order is. You're just going to do whatever comes first. The A does not mean that you have to add first. Okay, it's addition or subtraction. You're going to do whatever comes first. So inside my parentheses, 8 minus 5 comes first. So I'm going to do that. 8 minus 5 is 3. Again, we're going to copy everything down. I still have parentheses, so I need to finish my parentheses. 3 plus 2 is 5. I finished my parentheses, so I can move on. My next letter is E, which stands for exponent. I do have exponents. 3 squared. Well, that's the same thing as saying 3 times 3. Multiply 3 by itself 2 times. 1, 2. And 3 times 3 is 9. So now I have 12 minus 9 plus 5. Now I'm down to addition and subtraction. Remember, you don't have to do addition first. It's whatever you see first. Okay, addition or subtraction. So as I read from left to right, the first thing I come to is 12 minus 9. So I'm going to do that first. 12 minus 9 is 3. Copy down, and 3 plus 5 equals 8. All right, guys, so that's your examples and your notes for order of operations. Please make sure you have this entire page copied down. This is what we're going to be checking. Also remember P, parentheses, E, exponent, MD, multiplication, division. It does not matter the order. You're going to do whatever comes first. And then addition, subtraction, same thing. You're going to do whatever comes first. All right, that's it.